gaga, 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 gaga. I be looking fresh with them feds watching. I be looking fresh with them feds watching. I be looking fresh with them feds watching. New whip, yeah. Dogs, Toto, Toto. All you're doing is going down a bloody yellow brick motherfucking road. Sexual misconduct on a student. I be looking fresh with them feds watching. I be looking fresh with them feds watching. New whip, yeah. Dogs, Toto, Toto. Make your block hot. Kettle, buck 40, evil cutting evil, I be stunting. Paparazzi, put the barrel down your throat. Have you singing Lady Gaga, 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 Gaga. I be looking fresh with them feds watching. 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 New whip, yeah. Dogs, Toto, Toto.
All right. What's up, people? How's everyone out there doing tonight? Good, good, excellent. Welcome to a little impromptu, I guess, Turtle Boy episode. It's not a real show tonight. This is a special show. This is the Ratchet Madness selection show. Usually I do this as part of like, a live episode. But this year I'm going to do a whole separate one, just give it its own thing. All right. For those of you unfamiliar with what Ratchet Madness is, if it's your first Ratchet Madness, you're going to have a good time. We do this every year. I've been doing this since 2000, and I'll bring it up right now. Actually, I could bring it right here. So I've been doing this since 2000, and let's see, what year did I start this? Oh, there it is. Okay, 2017 was my first Ratchet Madness. And as you guys can see there, how this works, I'll explain how it works in a second. We have a champion every year. These are our champions from the past. So I guess this would be our 9th straight. This would be our 9th. So next year will be the 10th, anniversary of Ratchet Madness, if you will. But our previous champions are, for those of you who have been here a long time, I started this in 2017 doing this. That's Ashley Lasapiho, 2017. And then we had Didi Delgado in 2018. Ryan Waters, who is still around, in 2019. Nikki Evans, just the biggest piece of shit, in 2020. Then we had 2021, of course, Monica Cannon Grant. She almost won it 2 years in a row, or she came very close to winning twice. No one's ever won it twice, as you can see. 2022 were Harmony Montgomery's parents. It was a combined one. They won in 2022. 2023 was Mike Fucci. So we did this in April of 2023. So this is right when Karen Reed's story was breaking. And so obviously no one, and then the next year we did it in 2024, in April of 2024. And Jennifer McCabe was our easy champion. So those are our previous winners. Now, how Ratchet Madness works, for those of you who are unfamiliar with this, I'll show you last year's bracket. So as you can see here, it's just like a regular tournament. I don't know if I can zoom out on this, but it's just like March Madness. Like if you guys have ever seen March Madness college basketball, or any tournament for that matter, you take, there are 4 regions. Last year, I forget what we called these regions. But here we had, in each region, there are 16 ratchets. There's 64 total. Okay. And so there's 4 regions. In each region, we give them seeds 1 through 14. All right. And 1 is generally the most ratchet, and 16 would be the least. And how it works is we vote, right? So we have voting to determine who will advance in each round. And I'll show you, TV Daily News, Ratchet Madness. Okay. I'll show you here. So where'd I go? Could you guys not hear me there? Was that just silence? Sorry if I did that, but so I'll show you how this works. So you guys saw the bracket right there, right? And I publish a new article like every day, and you vote in each article, okay? And so the voting takes place in there. So like for instance, all right, the tail light region last year, round 1, right? We set up like this, like, okay, Jennifer McCabe against Kelly Lamb, John Connolly against Michael Link, and I make the case for each one, okay, why they're Ratchet, and then you vote for who you think should advance. And it doesn't show who you voted for there, okay? It doesn't show like because then I like to surprise people. You have 24 hours to vote. You got 24 hours to vote for who should advance. And then I announce the winners the next day in the next article. So then in the next article, I would say, I'll click on this one and I show you who advanced. Okay. Oh, I missed one there. Must have missed one. But anyway, like for instance, Chris Albert got 98% of the vote over Michelle Nally last year, 98-2. So he advanced. John Fanning beat Tim Albert 77-23. He advances. Jennifer Kofendoofus advances 86-14 or whatever. Okay. And it goes down the line just like that. So, back to the bracket. So then I would fill in the brackets like this. All right. So Jen McCabe advances. Mike Link advances, and he faces her in the next round, and we vote on that next week. Okay. So we do this bracket by bracket. First bracket, one at a time. The one day we'll do one bracket. Then the next day we'll go down to this bracket. And then we go over to this bracket. Colin Albert was a 1 seed last year, and Michael Proctor was a 1 seed last year. And this is who advanced. Okay. Our final 4 last year were Jennifer McCabe, Chris Albert, Michael Proctor, and Michael Morrissey. So 3 1 seeds and a 3 seed. So it happens, like that. So I think the lowest seed ever to win Ratchet Madness were Harmony Montgomery's parents. They were actually a 5 seed. A lot of people think they were underseeded. I take Ratchet Madness fairly seriously. Okay. So yeah. Anyway, so are we going to live vote? Are you listening, Elizabeth? You got to pay attention. Okay. So again, you vote. We don't live vote. I publish it in an article. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. I have a website. I have a whole website. It's called tbdailynews.com. And every day, starting on Tuesday, I will be publishing voting. You can click on a link and vote. Okay. You'll be able to vote in 8 of the matchups. Okay. 8 of the matchups. And then the next day, I'll give you 24 hours to vote. The next day, I will tell you who has advanced. Okay. So that is how it works. All right. So you vote on tbdailynews.com every day. tbdailynews.com. And oh my gosh, some of these questions. Somebody just asked, who are in this year's bracket? Welcome to the show. That's the whole purpose of this show. It's the Ratchet Madness selection show. The whole purpose of the show is to show you who is in the brackets. Okay. And voting in the first round will begin on Tuesday. We will vote this week. There are 4 brackets, or 4 regions rather. And it will start Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then at that point, we will be down to 32 Ratchets. And next week, we will then start voting in the second round. Okay. So the people that advance will play each other. Okay. And yeah, so that's it. So, as I've done this in the past, I usually play the Chicago Bulls warm-up song because I love that song from the 90s, but I'm going to get demonetized if I do that, and it's just not worth it. So no music this year. I hope that's okay with you fine people. And we're just going to go right to it, and we're going to start with the Ratchet Madness selection show now. Let's do it. All right. So the first region this year is called, let's see, it's the Irish Poverty Face region. The Irish Poverty Face region. All right. So the number one seed in the Irish Poverty region is the number one overall seed in the entire tournament. I think you guys could probably take a gander who that is. She Googled how long to die in cold at 2:27 a.m. She sucks. She's just the worst person on earth. Everybody hates her. She's the most hated person like on the planet. Of course, it is Jennifer McCabe is the number one seed, and she will be facing off again posthumously against a guy who may or may not have been the Canton Police Sallyport garage ghost and may or may not have planted taillight after Michael Proctor smashed it for him, and that would be Kenny Barkowitz. So that's our first matchup is going to be Jennifer McCabe against Kenny Barkowitz. Then our first 8 seed in the next matchup, the 8 versus 9 seed, we will have the first guy, a guy who is charged with assault and battery against an award-winning journalist after I decided to eat a meal of food at a restaurant in downtown Canton. He smacked the phone out of my hand, and he drives a shitty Prius. He rips about 1,000 cigarettes a day, and that would be Jumbo Jimmy Farris. Jumbo Jim. There he is. And Jim will be going up against a woman who is also a degenerate piece of shit. That's kind of a theme with this whole tournament here. And she is a horrible person who does nothing but enable her scumbag husband. She doesn't seem to mind that he texted and said he was looking for naked pictures of another woman. And she's really just as bad as he is, if not even worse. And that would be Elizabeth Proctor is our number 9 seed. So Jimmy Farris against Elizabeth Proctor. The next one, the 4 versus the 13 matchup. Another individual who can't keep her hands to herself and fucked around and picked up a assault and battery charge because it just out of nowhere, she just decided to roll up on Turtle Boy and take the phone out of my hand while I was attempting to eat a meal of food. We all know who this is going to be. This would be Jill Daniels is our number 4 seed. Jill will be going up against the number 13 seed in the Irish Poverty Face region, a guy who helped, another corrupt cop who covered up the murder of Sandra Birchmore in particular and claimed that he did not read Michael Proctor's disgusting text messages that he was on the group chain of because he was on vacation in North Carolina. That would be John Fanning, Lieutenant John Fanning. All right. So he'll be going up against Jill Daniels. The next region, the next matchup, the 5 versus the 12. The 5 seed, a guy who embarrassed himself like no one has ever embarrassed themselves before on international television and was so historically bad that they benched him for trial 2, despite the fact that he was arguably the prosecution's most important witness in trial 1. The guy who said the crime scene spoke to him and that it just did. And that would be Joseph Paul. Trooper Paul is our number 5 seed. Number 12 seed that he'll be going up against. Another individual who could be bought and paid for to just make some shit up. She doesn't shut the fuck up ever. She's probably the most annoying person on the planet. She thought that she could woo the jury over by talking about hamburgers and fried chicken and pancakes and whatever the hell else she ate for breakfast. I think she's in the Taliban. I'm not entirely sure. All right, that has not been verified. And that would be Jessica Hyde. Jessica Hyde. There she is. So that's our 5 versus 12. Joseph Paul against Jessica Hyde. The next one, the 3 seed. A guy who has kind of kept a lower profile compared to this time last year. So this is the 3 versus the 14. And he is also benched for trial 2. They did not bring him back because he was also such a disaster. I would argue he was the worst witness for the Commonwealth, because he just got up there and said things that were clearly untrue about how his knuckles got scraped up. And, he's just a big pussy kind of who says he's scared of Turtle Boy and was intimidated by me talking into a window. And that would be Colin Albert. He'll be going up against the number 14 seed, a newcomer this year, who is about 1,000 years old. And just he's so bad that he makes you wish that Ken Mello was back in your life, and that would be Robert Cosgrove, disgraced Judge Robert Cosgrove. So he'll be going up against Colin Albert. How appropriate. All right, next matchup, the 6 versus 11 seed. The number 6 seed is an individual who used to be a Karen Reed supporter, but until I called her out for grifting. She's like the definition of a grifter, possibly the dumbest person on the internet, which is no small feat, because there's a lot of stupid people out there. She is unemployed forever, and is jealous because the Haitian migrants who live in the migrant hotel with her are taking up all of the good social services that she feels entitled to. So our 6 seed is Twisted Tragedies. There you go. She will be going up against the number 11 seed, a guy who he was higher rated last year because he had a bigger role last year. Speaking of being benched, and I would argue that although he is incredibly corrupt and incredibly boring, he was actually better than Hank Brennan, and that would be Lunchbox Lally. So Lunchbox Lally, the 11 seed, will be going up against Twisted Tragedies. Now for the 7 versus 10 matchup, our first 7 seed, a guy who ironically calls everyone else grifters and conspiracy theorists, while he uses his low-rated program to rant about how the federal government and Turtle Boy and Karen Reed are conspiring to frame Jennifer McCabe. And he may or may not have been faking terminal cancer for several years now. And that would be, of course, Plevin. So Plevin is our 7 seed. And he will be going against the 10 seed, a woman who has made bad legal takes more times than anyone, I think. She is a complete lunatic and a nut job who somehow spawned Grant Smith Ellis, which really says a lot about her. She's a Duke lacrosse truther. Those still exist. And just an all-around pathological nutcase. And that would be, of course, Wendy Murphy. So Plevin against Wendy Murphy. Next up, we have the 2 versus the 15 seed. So our number 2 seed, a guy who is really the reason this whole thing happened in the first place. Could have stopped this at any time he wanted to, but instead he just kept going. And he helped cover up the murder of a Boston police officer. And he often used his burner email account to conduct government business, and just said some of the stupidest shit ever, as we've seen. He is a walking heart attack waiting to happen, and that would be Meatball Morrissey. So Meatball Morrissey is our 2 seed in the Irish poverty face region. And he will be going up against the number 15 seed, who, speaking of the face of Irish poverty, she is possibly the most miserable woman on the planet, who just screams, "I hate my life," when she testifies or speaks at all. And that would be, of course, Coco, Nicole Albert. So Nicole Albert will be going up against Mr. Morrissey. So that's our first region is done. Wait, where'd it go? Yeah, our first region's done. And so I'll show you guys what that bracket looks like, just in case you're new here, you've never seen this before, how this will work. So we will be voting in that region on Tuesday on tvdailynews.com. So Jennifer McCabe will be going up against Ken Berkowitz. You will vote who will advance there. Jim Ferris against Liz Proctor. The winner will go on. Okay. and they will face each other in the next round. Okay, so that's how that one will work. All right, so on to our second region. Let's do it. What is our second region called? Let's find out. The normal moms region. So we have the normal moms region. All right. So our number one seed in the normal moms region is another number. He was the runner up last year. He is last year at this time, we called him corrupt state trooper Michael Proctor. Now we call him former state trooper Michael Proctor and disgraced state trooper Michael Proctor because he has been fired. His ass has been fired. And so he is, of course, a one seed again this year. And there he is right there. Chip. Okay. So Chip will be going up against the number 16 seed in the normal moms region, a woman who, when she showed up to court, there were less people on the O'Keefe side simply because she took up more seats. There's just simple science there. Mass takes up space. It occupies space. Luckily, she didn't show up for the second trial because after appearing as the face of the family on Dateline, because she realized that her sister, Erin, was being dogged by Paul O'Keefe the entire time. And that would, of course, be Megabeth. So Megabeth is the 16 seed, and she will be going up against Chip Proctor. Chippy. All right. Time for the 8-9 matchup. All right. Our 8 seed this year. He was higher rated last year. I think he was a 3 seed last year because he was really more prominent, I guess, and alive. We could actually confirm he was alive. This year, he may or may not be dying, or he might have the Plevin thing going on. I don't know. But either way, he is just a complete degenerate. He can't spell office on his website. He claims he's dying, but yet randomly appears on Twitter to like roast people and talk about Elon Musk or whatever. So that would be special prosecutor, of course, Kenneth Mello is our number 8 seed. Mello will be going up against the 9 seed in the region. And this woman is another corrupt, useless piece of shit who Karen Reed might not have ever hit anyone with her car, but she sure as hell has. She actually hit an elderly man in a crosswalk and showed up with the O'Keefes one day at court and kind of stared me down a little bit. And so that would be, of course, Helena Rafferty. So she'll be going up against Yellow Mello. Next matchup is the 4 versus the 13. Okay. The 4 seed in this region is, of course, a piece of shit. She is grizzled, I would say. She is a pathological liar. She is just unfazed when she was on the stand. She claims that she saw a black blob on the front lawn, but yet did not report that to anyone else. And she's probably pretty good at the shot put. So at least she's got that going on for her. So that would be Julie Bagel. The Bagel's up. So she is the number 4 seed. All right. The Bagel will be going up against the 13 seed in this region, a guy who started making a name for himself. No one had heard of this guy until like probably the last month of the Karen Reed trial. He got kicked off multiple channels, I believe NBC 10 and WBZ as a legal analyst, which is hard to do. He was so offensive that he got kicked off both of those channels. He actually said that Michael Proctor was a really nice guy, and I think he almost made Sue O'Connell's head explode. So that would be Judge Jack Lew will be going up against the Bagel. Judge Jack Lew. The next matchup is the 5 versus the 12 seed. Okay, so our number 5 seed, a guy who did not appear in trial 1, but unfortunately for him, did appear in trial 2, and I believe it may have cost him his job. Because as it turns out, he is a complete fraud and a charlatan who never graduated from college, although he's still working on it if you ask him. And that would be, of course, Shannon Burgess. Shannon. And he will be going up against the 12 seed. If you're on Twitter, you've probably seen this absolute fucking moron many times before. She is a mouthpiece for the Commonwealth. She pretends to be offended by everything and clutches her pearls while associating with some of the most disgusting people known to mankind. She spent her 4th of July pretending to be her son and messaging me and asking me to start being nicer to his mother, and then claims that I harassed her family on the 4th of July. And that would be Big Red Julie Carpenter. Julie Carpenter. So she is our 12 seed, and she'll be going up against Shannon Burgess. Next up, our 3 seed, an international villain, I would say at this point. This woman's after Morrissey, I would say that she arguably could have put a stop to this more than anyone, this whole charade, but she chose to allow it to continue. If you thought she was cunty last year, she was even cuntier this year. Just made it almost impossible for the defense to do their job. They acquitted Karen Reed in spite of her. And that, of course, would be Auntie Bev, Judge Auntie Bev. Next, she will be going up against the 14 seed in this region. A woman who is really the reason that she really kind of started the whole anti-Karen Reed movement, because she was the first person to publish anything that was like blatant McAlbert propaganda, and she served as their mouthpiece. She is, unfortunately, the Netflix people at Sandpaper decided to hitch their wagon to her train, and I don't think it's going to end the way they think it is going to end. And that would be, of course, Gretchen Voss. So she will be going up against Auntie Bev. The next up is the 6 versus the 11 matchup. The 6 seed in this region, another individual who manages to get on panels all the time and purports to be some sort of expert, but is really just like retarded. Like, there's just no other way to describe this woman. She's batshit retarded. She says some of the stupidest shit you've ever seen in your life. Her hair is completely out of style. She needs a complete makeover. Everything about this woman is just wrong and offensive. And that would be Kofin Doofus, of course. Kofin Doofus is our 6 seed. She will be going up against the 11 seed. A guy who is just, I hate this fucking guy. He is just the biggest loser. He lied to me. He basically pretended, I don't know when he lied. He pretended that he was going to be somebody who was looking for the truth and doing a podcast with me. But as it turns out, I hurt his feelings when I wouldn't do all the legwork for him. And then he made a hit piece podcast on me that absolutely no one listened to. And of course, he interviewed Carrie Lama, who told him that it's just the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard. You got to listen. Don't listen to the podcast. Your head will literally explode. And that would be William Phelps. Matt Phelps, his real name, Phelpsy. So that's him. That's the 11 seed. Next up, the 7 versus 10 seed, our number 7 seed. Honestly, an underrated piece of shit. I think she is honestly the most fucked up person in this whole thing. Just what she did to Karen Reed is fucking evil. Like, there's no other way to describe it, because her motivation for turning on Karen Reed and providing fodder for all of these losers and these screenshots that you've seen all over Twitter and stuff like that are completely taken out of context. The reason that she betrayed Karen like this, of course, was simply because Karen didn't want to be her best friend and asked her for a little space. So that would be Natalie Zgerman. Natalie Zgerman. She's our 7 seed over there. She will be going up against the 10 seed. Another douchebag who, if you're on TikTok, there are gay people, and then there are the F words. He's the F word. Like, this is the kind of guy, you look at this guy and you're like, yeah, you hate your dad because your dad is ashamed of you. Your dad had a boy when you were born, and he was like, oh, cool. He's going to play sports and do this. He's going to be awesome. And then you came out. And you're not, because I'm cool with gay people. I like gay people. I don't like this guy. He's like the F word. He's the F word. He sucks. He's fucking evil. He's just the most ratchet piece of shit loser that no one cares about. And that would be Boundless Millennial. So he'll be going up against Big Nat. All right, Boundless Millennial. And finally, at the bottom of this region, the 2 versus the 15 seed, or 2 seed this year. I believe he was a 2 seed last year as well. He did not testify at this year's trial because I think Spanky realized what a disaster he was. And he realized that nobody in the world believes that a decorated dude, a decorated law enforcement officer, would not wake up. He would not wake up when all these people were outside his house. He destroyed his phone the day before preservation order was put in place. He claimed it happened while he's fucking his wife. He sucks. He's a piece of shit. He helped murder John O'Keefe and then cried about it. All right. That would be big bad Brian Albert. Brian Albert. And he will be going up against the number 15 seed. Another huge pussy. A guy who is madly in love with M. William Phelps, just infatuated with him. He represented both Phelps and I, and refused to just say anything to him about the Hit Piece podcast that was done about me. And he sucks. He's just a complete piece of shit loser. And that would be, oh, he's so fat. Matt Valentinus. So that is our second region out of the way. Let's see what it looks like. Okay. I think it's going to be over here then. Normal Mobs region. Okay, here it is. Yeah, Michael Proctor against Megabeth, Mello against Rafferty, Julie Nagel against Jack Lou, Shannon Burgess against Julie Carpenter, Auntie Bev against Gretchen Voss, Kofin Doofus against Phelps, Natalie against Boundless Millennial, and Brian Albert versus Matt Valentinus. So that's our second bracket. On to the third region. Let's see what this one's called. Let's pull it up. Our third region is called the Ham Sandwich region. So we have the Ham Sandwich region. Our number 1 overall seed in the Ham Sandwich region, I think, has been a number 1 seed a couple times in Ratchet Madness history. She was like a 6 seed last year because, she hadn't involved herself enough in it at this point last year. But as we've seen since then with the Better letters and everything, she is the driving force behind my charges. She is a convicted criminal, a child abusing deadbeat, somebody who finances a couch, and is just, we all know who she is. She's the most obsessive person I've ever encountered in my whole life. And that, of course, would be Krusty Panties. Krusty Panties. She will be going up against the number 16 seed in that region. A guy who was arguably the biggest supporter of Helena Rafferty and the Canton Police Department. Just an absolute rubber stamp for them. He has been in office in Canton since the beginning of time until this year, when he was overthrown by a 2-1 majority, never to be seen again. And that, of course, would be John Connolly. John Connolly. There you go. So he'll be going up against Krusty. The 8 versus 9 matchup. A woman who, I say every person on here is the craziest person, but this one might be. She might be the craziest person on here. A woman who is clearly madly in love with the dead man by the name of John O'Keefe because she dated him once 20-something years ago. And we all know who she is. She's just fucking batshit insane, psychopath. And that, of course, would be crazy Tara Kerrigan. Tara Kerrigan. She will be going up against the 9 seed, a guy who is a very underrated, corrupt cop scumbag who simply had to be in on more of this involving the cover-up. He got drunk with Michael Proctor in the middle of the day and left this gun and badge in Proctor's car. And he may or may not have planted taillight outside of his brother's house. And that, of course, would be Kevin Albert. Kevin Albert. It's our 8-9. Next up is the 4 versus 13 matchup. Our 4 seed. Somebody who definitely was not in Ratchet Madness last year because nobody knew who she was. But boy, do we know who she is now. I would say she's the biggest see you next she won the See You Next Tuesday award, I would argue, for trial 2. Just stole it, ran away with it. She has a really bad memory or something, like where she remembers things in vivid detail, and then it turns out those things never happened. Okay. And that, of course, would be our 4 seed Kelly Deaver with resting bitch face forever. She will be going up against the number 13 seed. I can't tell if this guy's faking it or if he's actually crazy and just doing it for attention. Either way, something's very, very wrong with this boy. He was not allowed to cover the Karen Reed trial this year because another reporter had a restraining order on him, and he holds his pants up with a piece of rope. And that, of course, would be Grant Smith-Ellis, sir. He was almost arrested, actually. He was almost sent to jail during a hearing. I've never seen that before. That'd be Grant Smith-Ellis. So he'll be going up against Kelly Deaver. Next up, the number 5 seed. A woman who some people might have felt bad for before, but I think really showed her true colors in trial number 2. She revealed herself to be a woman who is not afraid to commit perjury in front of a grand jury and lie to protect her friends who were never her friends before, and is too stupid to see that she's being used and manipulated by all of them. That, of course, would be Kerry Roberts. So Kerry Roberts is our 5 seed. And she will be going up against the number 12 seed. It's a duo here who appeared in the first trial, but did not appear in the second trial because they literally added nothing. Of all the people who added nothing, these two added nothing the most. And on top of that, they're also incredibly cunty. I'm not supposed to say that word again, but either way, incredibly See You Next Tuesday, and are still mad about Karen Reed because she was rude to them once 5 years ago. And that, of course, would be the Sullivan Sluts. The Sullivan Sluts will be going up against Kerry Roberts. There we go. The number 3 seed in this region, a guy who, oh my God, if you thought he was unlikable in trial 1, trial 2 was a whole new level, brought to a whole new level of unlikability. He testified for 3 days. He said he can't speak English. He asked for the Webster's Dictionary. He spent so many months trying to string women up on felony charges for rubber duckies. We all know who this douchebag is. That would be Bukkake, the Bukakster. There he goes. He will be going up against the number 14 seed in this region, a guy who I didn't even know this guy existed until he accosted us outside in a drunken stumble thing. I don't know what the hell he's doing outside of CF McCarthy's when we were trying to get a meal of food. He likes to sexually harass and touch women for some reason. And he comes from a family full of shitheads. And that would be, of course, this douchebag here, Sam Nagel. So Sam Nagel will be going up against Bukkake, the 3 versus 14 matchup. Next up, another new guy for trial number 2, who was so bad that even Plevin has gone on record to say that he cost them the trial. He was so bad that he gets paid $750 an hour to paint himself blue. And his testimony wasn't even brought up in the closing statements by Spanky. And that, of course, would be Judd the Chud Welcher, our number 6 seed in this region. He will be going up against the number 11 seed in this region, a guy who played a more prominent role, I would argue, in the first trial. The second trial, he really didn't do much besides read some messages out loud, I think. But he's an underrated douchebag because he has really helped cover up the murder of Sandra Birchmore. He claims to be like the technical expert, the phone expert for the Commonwealth, but yet he can't find any deleted messages when people delete them. And that would, of course, be Nicholas Guarino. It's our 6 versus 11 matchup. Our 7 versus 10. a guy who he was around for the first trial, this number 7 seed, but I would argue he took on a whole new role as the villain in the second trial. Like he really embraced the role of being the villain. He is the biggest propagandist I have ever seen. He's basically a more polished version of the Towel. And he got booed on his way out of court, just incessantly booed. And that would be Mr. Listen Turtle himself, of course, John DePietro. John DePietro is our number 7 seed. He will be going up against the number 10 seed in this region, a woman who testified in trial number 1 and was a complete disaster. She did not testify in trial number 2. I mean, talk about the face of Irish poverty. I mean, Nicole Albert has nothing on this woman's face. She's arguably the most grizzled woman in Canton history. And she hates her life, as you probably would too if you went to the grocery store and your credit card was declined all the time because you are married to a complete shitbag who doesn't pay his bills. And she's most famous, of course, for saying bukkake not once, but twice on national television. That would be Julie Albert. Julie Albert. So she will be going up against DePietro. All right. Next up is our 2 seed in this region. A guy who last year, he was an 11 seed last year, and he made the Elite 8 because I guess I underseeded this guy. He took on a much bigger role in trial 2, although he didn't appear in trial 2. But he was painted, he's kind of widely regarded now as the guy who killed John O'Keefe, right? Or at least played a major role in it. He's also, we found out, very sensitive and he listens to every show about him. He pretends to be someone named Kevin from South Boston. He stands outside of his house and runs down the street at cars that drive past his house. And that would be, of course, the decorated dude himself, Higgy Bear, Brian Higgins, the weed whacker. And he would be going up against the 15 seed. Another corrupt cop from the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office who has been rehomed because he is a douchebag. We've never even seen this guy. He didn't testify in either trial. We've never seen him in real life. But we have read his text messages in which he calls Karen Reed a fucking bitch because she wanted to defend herself and accuse the McAlberts of being involved in killing John O'Keefe. And that would be Donkey Lips DeChico. Donkey Lips David DeChico. So he will be going up against Higgy Bear. All right. So let's go check out that region. Our 3rd region of Ratchet Madness. Here we go. All right. So Krusty against Connolly. Terry Kerrigan against Kevin Albert. Kelly Deaver against Grant Smith Ellis. Kerry Roberts against the Sullivan Sluts. Bukkake against Sam Nagel. Judd Welcher against Nicholas Garino. John DePietro against Julie Albert, and Brian Higgins against David DeChico. So that is our 3rd region. Now it's time to go on to the final region in this year's Ratchet Madness. Let's go into the final region of Ratchet Madness 2025. What's this? It's the blue paint region. So we're in the blue paint region now. And our number 1 seed, I think you guys could probably guess who the last remaining number 1 seed is in this year's Ratchet Madness. He did not appear in last year's Ratchet Madness because nobody knew who he was then. He was just an anonymous, run-of-the-mill mob attorney who thinks that Whitey Bulger is a good person, but Karen Reed and Turtle Boy are bad. He is a complete piece of shit. He took over $500,000 from the taxpayers, didn't deliver shit, just fucking sucked, was useless, was mean, just a complete dog shit, horrible fucking person. And I hope he burns in hell. That, of course, would be Spanky Brennan, of course. Spanky Brennan is our number 1 seed in the blue paint region. He will be going up against the number 16 seed, a woman who resembles an elephant, I would say, or Snuffleupagus. She testified in both trials. She I mean, talk about catfishing when you see her picture online and then you see what she looks like in person. Holy shit. She's a nurse who has no problem lying about in a murder trial in order to protect her scumbag friends. And that, of course, and she's the one that could have ended this whole thing, but chose not to. And that would be Sarah Levinson. So Sarah Levinson is our number 16 seed who will be going up against Spanky Brennan. Okay. Next up, I swear to God, she looks like an elephant. Does she look like Snuffleupagus, doesn't she? She really does. Okay. All right. The 8 versus 9 matchup. All right. This guy, it was a low-key piece of shit. I thought he was like a preppy boy until I met him and he tried to fight me at Castle Island. He said negative things about his fiance on the stand. He tried to pimp himself out to Dave Portnoy prior to trial 2 and asked to try to get a free watch, but never ended up testifying in the first place. And he never knows what time it is. And that, of course, would be Tristan Morris. Tristan, I don't know what time it is. Morris. He will be going up against the number 9 seed in this region. Another huge piece of shit. A woman who is another grizzled Cantonite who got up on that stand and just lied to America about hearing Karen Reed say, I hit him, and then lied about being acquaintances with a woman by the name of Caitlin Albert. In reality, she was good friends with her. She sucks. And of course is Katie McLaughlin. So Katie McLaughlin will be going up against Tristan Morris. Now to the 5 versus 12 matchup, our number 5 seed. A guy who is arguably the least likable family member of a dead person ever, of a murder victim ever. He was so bad that he had to have his seat moved in court because he was making jurors feel sexually uncomfortable. A guy who was using the trial as a way to pick up women in New Jersey and send secret messages to them and then send topless pictures, selfies of himself in the bathroom, and would tell her that he wants to make glazed donuts with her. And that would be, of course, Paul O'Keefe. Paul O'Keefe is our number 5 seed. He will be going up against the number 12 seed. The sound of this woman's voice, I swear to God, I want to kill myself when I hear it. Just the fakest woman on television and pretends to be like a victim's rights advocate. But really, she just does. She's just a liar who does propaganda for the government and gets way too much Botox. And that would be Julie Grant. Julie Grant. So Julie Grant will be going up against Paul O'Keefe. Paul O'Keefe. Next up. Let's see. That would be, let's see. We have the 4 seed in this region against the 13. So our number 4 seed in this, just a complete asshole piece of shit who has his hands in literally everything. I swear to God, he's Michael Morrissey's number 2. He is the driving force behind my bullshit charges. He's obsessed with me. There's no other way to describe it. He is just the face of corruption. He looks like a freshly circumcised penis when he walks around everywhere. And that, of course, would be Brian Tully. So Brian Tully. He will be going up against the number 13 seed in this region. That is a woman who, if you're not on Twitter, you might not know who this person is. But if you are on there, it's kind of hard to miss her because she is just good friends with the McAlberts. Claims that Matt McCabe couldn't be a murderer because he drinks coffee with the garbage man, and stalked Karen Reed supporters at a rally once and got caught red-handed doing it. And that would be Carrie Lama. So she will be going up against Brian Tully. Our number 3 seed in this region. A guy who he was in the Final Four last year, but he did not testify at this year's trial. He is the biggest bitch in Canton ever, just the biggest bitch. He constantly cries and pretends that he's scared of Turtle Boy in order to try to get me jacked up on more charges while also claiming that he could smash my face up and down the sidewalk. And that would be, of course, Chris Albert Chicken Parm Charlie. He will be going up against the number 14 seed in this region. A woman who went on the news and talked about what a great person her scumbag brother was, as if she could rehabilitate his image. She also was in a text message with her brother in which she specifically said that she hopes that Karen Reed commits suicide. And that, of course, would be Courtney Proctor. Courtney Proctor. So she'll be going up against Chicken Parm Charlie. Now the 6 versus the 11. Wait a minute. Did we mess this up? This person's definitely in it. Oh, we screwed this one up. Hold on. I just realized this is why I should have double checked this shit. Hold on. I've definitely called this person already, the 6 seed. So I'm going to have to add one more to this region after this. I don't know what the fuck happened. How did this get by us? Oh no. Did we get? Yeah, 100% I've called this person already. Okay. So this is going to be a problem. I've never seen this happen before. I got to do this all over again. So I'm going to skip the number 6 seed. We're going to have a new number 6 seed when this is done. I don't know who the fuck I'm going to pick for this. But we'll have a new number 6 seed when this is done. I'm going to skip her over. Okay. I'm going to go to the 11 seed, the person that they're going to be going up against. All right. This is a guy who is the face of towny corruption, really. When it comes to the police, a guy who is good friends with Chris Albert, got him out of a jam about 20 years ago with the Lapalato brothers. Admittedly did not search Brian Albert's house because he knows him and, gave him the benefit of the doubt. He is just the face of douchebaggery in that town. And that, of course, would be Michael Lank, Sergeant Lank, or whatever. So I'm going to have to add a 6 seed because I'll be honest. I definitely called her already. I called Kerry Roberts. How the fuck did she end up here? How did this get by us? All right, we got to fix that. So we're going to have to fix that. All right. I bet you we will have missed someone that I'll add in. So there we go. Maybe we can add someone in. Maybe we can add Peggy. Peggy didn't make it, so maybe we can add her. Okay. All right. The next seed, the 7 versus 10 matchup. We only have 4 remaining here. Who? Let me see in the chat. Who have we missed so far? Who have we missed? Who have we not gotten in yet? Some names that you haven't heard yet. Oh, yes. That's what it was. That was supposed to be Matt McCabe. The 6 seed is Matt McCabe. That's who it was. I don't know how the fuck I missed Matt McCabe. That was an oversight. That was supposed to be Matt McCabe. So Matt McCabe that was him because I just noticed he's not. Yeah, Matt McCabe. We got to put in Chubbs McCabe. He's the number 6 seed. He's going to be the 6 seed. We're going to put him. I'm not putting Esther in. Don't worry. So if you guys, some names that haven't been called yet. Yeah, we haven't heard. Fake victim hasn't been called yet for sure. Peggy. Okay, we'll see. Who are some other ones that haven't been called? Everybody's saying Esty. Esty's not in it. Esty did not make Ratchet Madness. She's not in Ratchet. Everybody thinks Ratchet. Gallagher hasn't been called. We'll see if he makes it. I don't know. So we got four remaining. So we are going to start with the number 7 seed. So we're going to do the 7 versus 10. All right. Our 7 seed is a woman who is, oh my God. I thought Julie Grant was annoying. I thought Krusty was annoying. No, this is the most annoying person on the internet. When you hear her voice, it is just wretched. She is addicted to the sound of her own voice. She is nothing but government propaganda. I want to kill myself every time I hear her speak. She's absolutely fucking horrible. And that would be, of course, the Note My Objection lady. Note My Objection. So she is the number 7 seed in this region. She will be going up against the number 10 seed, which is a duo. Last year they were each in it last year. This year I decided to combine them as one entry because they're kind of a joint package. I really think the female is in charge. I think they're horrible. Like they suck. One of them was banned from even being in the trial last year for assaulting Karen Reed in the hallway. The other one is just the biggest bitch face I've ever seen ever, all the time. And she wears like parachute pants to court and shit like that. She sucks. She's absolutely sucks. And that would be of course, the Dougals, Jackie and Carl Dougal. So they will be going up against Jackie Chinless. She will be going up against Note My Objection. And that leaves our final matchup, the 2 versus 15 seed. The 2 seed in this year's Ratchet Madness. I didn't put her in Ratchet Madness last year because I just didn't want to give her attention because she sucks. But she's really just such a ratchet piece of shit. Unfortunately, I banged her. Not good. Because I ended up going to jail over that. And you know, she is an abusive, neglective, alcoholic mother who has had her kids taken away from her by the state previously because she's a junkie. She is a pathological liar who routinely puts men in jail crimes that she knows that they did not compete. She aborted my fake baby Clay and several times. She had a fake abortion of a fake baby, and it tried to have it in my real driveway. I wouldn't allow it, so I had to go to jail for that. Tried to get the order renewed on me this year, failed. Took me to trial after getting me violated on the order after getting out of jail. Was acquitted. She sucks. And of course, that is the fake victim, Lindsay Gattani. There's that. Okay. She will be going up against the 15 seed, a guy who is obsessed with being on TV, I think. Used the death of John O'Keefe to constantly get himself on TV and kind of make himself like the voice of the family, and literally said nothing, absolutely fucking nothing every time he spoke. Every time he spoke, you got dumber hearing this motherfucker, whether it was on the Greg Hill show or whatever the fuck this guy was going on. Every time he got fucking dumber. And that, of course, would be John Jackson. So John Jackson is our final entry into Ratchet Madness 2025. Okay, so let's go take a look at that bracket. Yeah, so Spanky versus Sarah Levinson, Tristan Morris against Katie McLaughlin, Paul O'Keefe against Julie Grant, Brian Tully against Kerry Lama, Chris Albert against Courtney Proctor, Kerry Robert. No, we know this is going to be Matt McCabe now. Okay, against Michael Lank. Note My Objection against the Dougals, and the fake victim against John Jackson. Now, this was tough, man. To come up with our field of 64 this year, dude, was no easy feat. Let me tell you. And you're probably, people are pissed, I'm sure, that like some people got left out of Ratchet Madness. Like, if I could go down this line, like just off the top of my head, some people that I thought were shitty and could have made it in. First of all, that Latima Lizard lady, she was on my list, but I just didn't want to do her. We had the, Chris Albert Jr., Ian Whiffen, Marty Kraft, Steve Serif, Gallagher, Allie McCabe, Nuttall, JLR, Ty Donahue, Amy DeAngelis, Matt Timpanic, Kim Fair. Yeah, so none of them made it in. And Peggy O'Keefe. Anthony Flamati is another one that could have made it in. I don't know. There's a bunch. But yeah, Welcher made it in. Welcher definitely made it in. So again, let's go look at the bracket. See how we think this is going to pan itself out. You know, the 1 seeds, it's hard to argue with the 1 seeds. Spanky, Proctor, Jen McCabe, and Krusty. I mean, how can you argue with those, right? But who do you think is most likely not to make it of the 1 seeds? Let's see what we have here. You know, so Jen McCabe's got in her region. She's got Morrissey. She's got Cole and Albert. She's got Jill Daniels. Kind of a stacked region. Twisted Tragedy is also extremely ratchet. Could be a spoiler there. You never know. Let's see. Krusty's region. Who's her top competition? Oh, Higgy Bear. She got Higgy Bear in the region. And Bukaki, man. Higgy Bear and Bukaki. And Deaver's in there, right? Kerry Roberts is in there. Judd the Chud, DePietro. Stacked, man. Anyone can win Ratchet Madness. Over here in this region, Chippy. Okay, Chippy's our top seed. But who's his primary competition? He's going to have Big Bad Brian Albert. Honestly, Auntie Bev, I think, is going to beat Brian. I think she's going to come out of this one as I think she's going to end up right here. That's my prediction right now. And will Proctor make it that far? Probably, but he's got to get through Julie Nagel. Getting through Julie Nagel is no easy task because she takes up a lot of space. You're going to have to go all the way around her because you can't go through her. That's for sure. So if he wants to beat the bagel, he's going to have to go all the way around her. Man Shannon's in there. You never know what could happen. I mean, this is definitely the heaviest region. The fat, we should call this the fat region. Proctor's fat. Megabeth's fat. Mello's fat. The bagel's fat. Obviously, this guy has the worst haircut ever. Man Shannon. Auntie Bev's not really fat. She's more cunty. I mean, this is the cunt bracket right here. Oh, I said it. You're not supposed to say cunt. Auntie Bev against Gretchen Voss. That's a CUNT bracket. Natalie's pretty fat. Albert's fat. This is definitely pound for pound the heaviest region. No clue, no doubt about it. It's easily the fattest region is the normal mom's region. And so who is his biggest? I think this is honestly, so far, I think Proctor's got the easiest trip to the finals. I mean, this is tough to get through. Morrissey, Colin Albert, Jill Daniels, or Higgy Bear, Bukaki. I mean, that's tough. That's tough. And then in the final one, who's in Spanky's way? Let's see. Dude, the fake victim, I could easily see her winning the whole thing. Easily. But do people want to make her relevant? That's the question. Because she sucks. Chicken Pipe Charlie, I feel like doesn't have the same buzz as he did last year at this time because he didn't testify. Tully, same thing. Paul O'Keefe. This could be a good matchup. Paul O'Keefe against Tully in the second round. That's a tough one. Good luck picking that one. Good luck voting on that. It's going to be a close one, I think. So, I don't know. We'll see. I love Ratchet Madness. I just love Ratchet Madness. I live for Ratchet Madness. And again, we will be voting on these starting Tuesday in the Jennifer McCabe region, which is the, what's the name of that one again? The Irish Poverty Face region, So there is that. All right, cool. So yeah, you guys excited? If it's your first time doing Ratchet Madness, it's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. Kind of gets this whole thing going again. I feel like it's kind of no more drama, no more dopamine, as my boy Ernie calls it. And maybe I could use a sponsor. I don't know if you want to sponsor Ratchet Madness this year, contact me. We can just throw your fucking business right on there. Ratchet Madness brought to you by blank, fill in the blank. So if you have a business or something, or you want to advertise something on there, send me an email, turtleboysports@gmail.com. And you can be the official sponsor of Ratchet Madness 2025. Probably should have done that before. But this is our 9th year of Ratchet Madness. How do you vote? Well, every Tuesday, I went over this at the beginning of the show, but I'll do it again because I love you people. Or not every Tuesday. Every day, starting on Tuesday, I will publish an article like I did here. And I will give you the matchups. Jennifer McCabe versus Kelly Lamb. This is last year. This year, of course, it would be Jennifer McCabe versus who's she going against? Ken Berkowitz. So I will explain, I will make the case for each of them, explain what's ratchet about them, and then you will vote who should advance. You'll have 24 hours to vote for who should advance in that region. And then you will go down. There will be 8 things that you can vote on. Last year was John Connolly versus Michael Lank. You vote on that. Julie Albert versus True Crime and Wine. She didn't make it this year. Lally versus Michelle Gallery. She didn't make it this year. Mello versus Jill Harrison Thomas. She didn't make it this year. Gretchen versus Sean McCabe. He didn't make it this year. Roast Beef Ronnie didn't make it, and Karen Kelly didn't make it this year. Paul McAuliffe against Brian Albert. He didn't make it this year either. So we definitely have some new faces this year. So you will vote. And then the next day, I will announce who won the voting. Right? So and I will give you the next one. For instance, I'll say, okay, so here's who won. The following 8 Ratchets have advanced: Colin Albert, Wendy Murphy, Jackie Dougal, Julie Nagel, Michael Morrissey, Grant Smith Ellis, Kenny Berkowitz, and Lizzie Proctor advanced. Okay. And then we vote for the next 2. Proctor versus Garino, Plevin versus Boundless Millennial. They both made it this year. Cam Sanchez versus Helena Rafferty. He didn't make it this year. Lisa Crucilio didn't make it this year against Natalie the German. Oh, Christy made it last year. Forgot about that. Against Carl Dougal. Kerry Roberts against Higgins. Obviously, they're both in it this year. Twisted Tragedies against the egg thrower, Diana White. And, of course, Kevin Albert versus Jill Daniels last year. So that's how it will work. It'll all work itself out. It's going to be good. Ratchet Madness is going to be dope. So this is my 9th year doing this. I love Ratchet Madness. People love Ratchet Madness. It's awesome. You guys are going to have a great time if it's your first time doing Ratchet Madness. So I had some, I think I put the thing for Turtle Chats at the top. I'm not sure if I got any. Let me just read. I don't want to miss anyone if I did. Let me pull it up. Okay, we got one here. We got Tanya. Tanya sends $10, goes, "Hey, Turtle Boy, today is my birthday, August 10th. Nice. I was wondering if you could send me a signed Turtle Boy hat. I'll send you the money for the hat if you agree. Either way, I'm thrilled you added a show tonight. It's a great way to end my special day. Keep doing what you're doing, exposing corruption." I don't see how that's possible. I can't. All the stuff is in the Turtle Boy store. I don't touch it. I don't touch any of the merch. So I don't see how if you see me in person and you have your hat, I'll sign it for you. That's no problem. But see the one, I can't play One Shiny Moment. I'll get demonetized. Now that I'm monetized again, I can't do any of the fun music. It sucks, but oh well. All right, cool. Anybody else got anything they want to talk about before we call it a, who do you guys like? Who's going to win it all this year? Is Jen McCabe going to repeat? We've never had a repeat. It's going to be a tougher journey. You thought who else didn't make it that you guys thought might make it? Joe Warren, Laura McLaughlin, Peggy, Jim McDermott. Another good one. You're right. Sean in the Golf. Now I was going to put Sean in the Golf in. Come on. Ty Donahue, he's definitely one who could have made it in for sure. He was on my short list of people that almost made it in. Commissioner Cox, for sure. Colleen Crawford, she was on my short list too. McDonough, Eugenia. Forgot about your. It's awesome. It's fun. It's a great time. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's see what people are saying. So do I get demonetized for swearing? How does that work? It's hard not to swear. It's very hard, but I'm working on it. Yeah, Caitlin Albert, she didn't make it. Judge Krupp. True. It's gonna be a good one, man. I live for this shit. So we'll see what happens. So again, if you're interested in sponsoring Ratchet Madness, send me an email at turtleboysports@gmail.com. Again, a lot of people see this shit, especially this year, and it'll be great. So anyway, guys, thank you guys for joining me for this special edition of the Turtle Boy Live Selection Sunday show. We will see you guys all for the next episode of Turtle Boy Live on Tuesday night. I will be in court on Wednesday afternoon at 2:00, and I hope to see many of you guys there. All right. Peace, Turtle Riders.
It calls for